If there is one piece of advice that has always remained consistent here on this channel, it is the advice that all rideshare drivers, whether driving for Uber or Lyft, should always keep a defensive tool on you at all times. Mace, something to slice or poke with, and or a firearm if you're comfortable with that. Today is no exception in those details. What up, folks? Once again, it is your boy Tim with another ride sharing video. Houston is in the news.
So learning, multiple rideshare drivers have been victims of violent crime over the past month here in Houston.
ABC 13's Elisa Rivas joins us live with the story now. Elisa?
Our assignment desk has definitely been looking into this, and they have tracked down at least 4 robbery cases involving ride shares in June. Tonight, 3 people are in custody, court records listing them as co-defendants. According to police, the robbery spree began on June 2nd. That's when Kenneth Kelly is accused of robbing and sexually assaulting an Uber driver. About a week later, police say Lorenza Jackson and Brian Dorsey forced a driver to go to an ATM to withdraw cash. Police say they also got about $1,000 from the driver's Cash App. On June 20th, police say Jackson and Kelly teamed up to force a female driver to go to multiple ATMs before stealing her car. Court records say Jackson was involved in the 4th incident in which a driver was forced to withdraw money from their account. Investigators have not yet said where these holdups happened or if they're looking at other suspects, but it's a clear reminder for rideshare drivers to remain vigilant.
Quick question for you, Elisa. It seems not so smart and, in fact, very foolish to target a rideshare driver because, of course, you have to sign up to use those services. Wouldn't it make it easy for police to track them down?
Oh, we did ask Uber tonight for more information about that, and we haven't gotten an answer. But we did get some further clarification about the homicide we were talking about just moments ago. In that case, investigators say they were able to identify the device that was used to request the ride. Police say 3 different accounts had been used on that one phone. One of the accounts was registered to the man who ended up being taken into custody, but according to court records, he was using an account under a different name when he requested that ride.
Once again, another major metropolitan area of this country features criminals targeting us rideshare drivers. Now, obviously, we're not talking about Chicago day in and day out. For you folks who are into politics, interested in politics, understand that is a right-wing talking point. This shit is happening all over the damn country. Whether it's a liberal or a conservative area, be damned. Whether the gun laws are strong or they're heavily restricted, this shit is happening all over the country. Totally different area in Houston versus Chicago. Nevertheless, drivers are being targeted in Houston. Now, in this case, we're talking about drivers being robbed, folks being kidnapped, held against their will, dragged to ATM machines, up to and including sexual assault. Now, based on the story here, it seems like there is a group of folks going around doing this. Generally, it's juveniles. Most cases, it's people that are under 25 that are doing this, which is also a hell of an argument against Uber Teen. We talked about that a month or so ago, where Uber is now allowing teenagers, apparently with their parental consent, to book rides without the parents being in the car. I've told you before several times, don't do that shit. It can lead to dangerous things happening. Whether it is the teen making false accusations against you as a driver, or you actually coming in contact with a nefarious character like in some of these videos. But I want to give you a bit more because there's a hell of a lot to unpack here. Notice the reporter said they reached out to Uber and asked Uber, how the hell can people do this when you're apparently keeping all their data and information? Uber didn't even respond to them. And that's a huge point to make, because anyone believing that Uber or Lyft has your best interest at heart, if something awful were to happen to you, you're naive. You are naive. I've done videos of even homicide detectives suggesting that when something happens, it can be difficult to even get information from Uber or Lyft. So understand that. But I want to talk about the fact that in the story, these criminals were taking drivers to ATM machines and also making them take money off their Cash App. If you are driving unarmed, or even if you're driving armed, whatever the case may be, somebody still could get the jump on you. How about keeping your debit cards and things like that maybe in a separate location? Certainly not having Cash App readily available on your phone. So that way, like yours truly, I don't have Cash App. I don't really use that particular application, so I really don't have it. I mean, I could download it and link it to my bank account again if I had to, but I'm not really comfortable with it, so I've never used it. But for those who do have it, and there are legitimate reasons to have it, maybe not having that app readily available on your phone, because a lot of these criminals putting a pistol to somebody's head and demanding that they give them the passcode to their phone. Once they're in your phone, they can do all of this shit. So maybe not having that readily available on your device. Just a thought. Same thing with your debit or credit card. If you carry a wallet or if you carry a purse for female drivers, that's where they're going to go ahead and intrude, and they're going to go through all of that shit. Maybe if your debit card is in your sock, under the rug, under the vehicle, in the vehicle, on the floorboard, under the rug or something like that. That way, if they take your wallet, take your purse, they don't get that information. I stated in the sock because they may take your whole damn car. Just want to run this by you folks, because this is the crazy shit you got to think about when you are a rideshare driver. It's not like this is happening every blue moon. This shit is happening to drivers every day. So I just want to run this one by you. But the fact that these folks are even up to and including sexually assaulting folks. And once again, you see who is doing this. I get all sorts of criticism for advising drivers that if you feel like you need to discriminate to maintain your safety, damn it, do that shit. All kinds of folks. You're selling out your own race. You're hating on your people. What the fuck ever. Look at the damn video clips of what's going on. Do you really believe there is a host of white people going around robbing rideshare drivers and the media is just choosing not to cover any of that shit? Do you really believe that? I'm not here to pretend like the media does not have an agenda, that the media does not want to sometimes portray folks in a bad light. But even if the media was deliberately trying to hide whites or Asians from robbing every damn body, why the hell are they finding so many clips of black people doing it? So you can't blame the media for telling you a story that actually happened. At best, the argument is, well, there was somebody white that murdered somebody too and you didn't cover it. That doesn't take away the fact that what you're seeing is actually a fact. So I just want to run that by you folks. And I'm getting hellified criticism for suggesting that if you feel unsafe, discrimination may be what you need to do. Period. I don't see how anybody does not see the logic in that. But in this case, like I said, you got juveniles and folks under 25 to down to about 14 years of age. Many of my stories are being perpetrated by folks that are in that age group, 14 to about 25. Even the individual, the interpreter that was interpreting for our soldiers in Afghanistan, apparently he's a big guy too, by the way, because after I'd done that story, it's on ABC World News and being covered by some pretty big national news media outlets. So apparently he was the last guy on the plane leaving Afghanistan. Remember when we left Afghanistan, there were service personnel that got killed and they were blaming Biden and shit like that. Well, he was on one of the last planes to leave Afghanistan to come live here in America. And now he's dead by a bunch of juveniles. The ones I'm telling you about. The ones that folks are getting pissed off for me saying. Anyway, just wanted to run this by you because once again, H-Town is in the news and same shit happening in Detroit, Atlanta, New Orleans, Chicago, San Francisco, Los Angeles. I've done stories in all of those cities of folks targeting rideshare drivers. So stay vigilant, folks. Keep your defensive tools on you and I can't say this anymore, be very selective in who the hell you let in your car. It's your boy Tim. Subscribe to the damn channel. Click like, and I'll see you in the next video.